What's up? Welcome to my show. This is Omario Bosque, and you are listening to OA Magazine. And it is the weekend, obviously, because I am on the air talking to my people. What is going on? For all you listeners who have never paid attention to the show, welcome. This is a show where I just basically come on the air and talk about the stuff that's on my mind. Sometimes it's riveting, sometimes it's challenging, sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's just me being upset about life. But this is what I do. So welcome to my show. So, yeah. Was I on the air last week? It is so sad that sometimes I just forget when I actually do this show. But in the next couple of weeks, I won't be so freaked out about it because I will be, hopefully, if all goes well, podcasting from my very own space. So that has had a lot to do with the fact that when sometimes I'm doing it, sometimes I'm not, because I'm just like, I don't feel like it, and it's noisy. Sometimes it's like people. But at the end of the month, I should be moving into my very own space. I really didn't know how crazy it was to live here. But if you're bored, if you're totally just bored, go look at Craigslist and look at rooms wanted and just look how many people are looking for a place to live. It is just crazy to find a place to live here. I'm talking families. We're talking like single mothers with 2 children, people with dogs and shit. You're just looking for a place to stay, to put their head down. It's a mess out there. So, welcome, you guys. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I'm having a pretty decent, laid-back weekend. I am fresh off of the Game of Thrones marathon that I've decided to just engulf myself with. I was, I'm not about hoopla. I can't stand hoopla. I can't stand when people tell me what a show is so amazing and then things are so great. I love these things. You gotta try this. You gotta do this. You gotta eat this. You gotta try this yoga place. You gotta try this Thai food place. I hate people. So when people tell me to try something, I instantly rebel. I'm like, no thanks. I'm good. I appreciate it. But thank you, goodbye, not. And so everybody was talking about Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, you must watch Game of Thrones. And I'm like, I'm good. Seriously, I'm good. But no. Period pieces tend to bore me because, people try to be so over the top. And that's not to say that after I've watched this entire 5 seasons that it wasn't over the top, because it really was, with raping and pillaging and shit. But it was dynamic. I have to say, it was really, really good. A lot of it I had to skip past, because I was like, I'm just bored. Like the Rob Stark shit or whatever. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, it's probably best you don't. And I'm not going to tell you to watch it, because then I'm going to be one of those people who I hate, who tell me to go watch something just because I like it. But it's good, and it's about this family. It's about several families. Anyway, it's interesting. It's on couchtuner.la if you want to watch all 5 seasons of it. It's great. It's just really good. So I've been watching that. And this morning I started all of the seasons of Project Runway, because I didn't even know it was back on. And so it's back on. And I'm rooting for Edmund, who was a brother from someplace. I forgot where he's from. He is badass. But, I can't watch Project Runway the same as I used to. I used to be able to watch it all the way through. Now I find out what the challenge is, and then I skip past to the runway. Because I don't want the drama all between them fighting and crying and shit. And, like, me and my friend Don were talking about this the other day. It's like, when you get on a reality TV show now, they want to pull at your heartstrings and tell you, oh, I was raped as a child, I was molested, I was really poor, I was bullied, I was something. Like, you just have to get the backstory, and it drives me nuts. Like, have you never seen these shows before? Like, you had to have seen the shows before. You know how it works. You're going to get... You're in a room with perfect strangers. Everyone wants to be famous. At this point, back when it first started, I don't think anybody got onto reality TV shows thinking they're going to be famous. That's really not what they thought. Because I was around for the very first one, which was Real World, and those people honestly did not think they were going to be famous. That's just not what they signed up for. And while it wasn't, it wasn't a real life living situation because these people didn't have jobs, and like you can't just sit in the house with people and not work. I'm living proof of that. But it was real enough to the point where they videotaped your entire life, and in parts, I'll say, and you had to stick it out. Now everybody's an actor. Everyone has a resume, and they're on IMDb or whatever that shit is, and so it's a jump start to your career or your brand. That's what it's all about these days. Like, let's not get it twisted. So it's all about good TV. But we were watching America's Next Top Model, which is season 22, which, believe me, I feel it's like 20 seasons overdue. It's past tense. It's so past tense. Tyra Banks and her outfits with the one sleeve, she's driving me crazy, and her short wig, and I can't. I hate celebrities so much. You guys just do not understand how much I hate celebrities. But it's like these people have this backstory, and I can't watch it. I love Project Runway. I love it. It still feels new every time I watch it. It feels like, God, I've never seen this before. And because the designers are really good. There's really good designers on there, and there's been some really some careers have been started out on this show. No joke. And so in watching it, I have to bypass. Like, if I was watching it in real time, I couldn't watch it because, like, I can't watch people's drama. It drives me nuts because it's so contrived. It's not real. It's so for TV that I can't deal with it. But everybody has this horrible backstory, and it makes you feel like you want to root for the underdog. But in real life, we don't have people rooting for our asses. We just got to go to work. We got to do the best we can to pay the rent. That's all we got. We can't even, the average Joe can't even live his or her dream. Like, they have to bypass it altogether. They'll never be on a reality TV show. They'll never be able to be discovered. They'll just die, having desires. I know I'll be that person. Like, I really honestly don't think I'll ever satisfy my artistic endeavors. It's just, I don't think it's meant for me to do that. And I think the average person doesn't either. So it's not like a woe is me. It's just like the average person does not get to fulfill their desire and their fantasy. It's just not how it happens. And so you watch these TV shows and you just watch these people live out this scripted life. All of them are bad. Like, all of them are. There's not a good one on TV anymore, and it's fine. But this one in particular, Project Runway, it still feels fresh because Heidi's still fresh. Like, Heidi is just the bomb. I love her because she keeps it so honest. And but everybody's got this sad story. Like, there's a fat girl on there named Lindsay, and I don't really think fat girls need to be named Lindsay. That's a skinny girl's name. And because I can't think of fat. I think Rebecca, Maria, Pam. Like, Pam has to be fat. Like, are there any thin Pams? I don't think they are. Like, even if your name is Pam, you're gonna be fat. Like, chances are you're gonna be fat. Or like, and dudes too. Like, if you hear a name Bruce is fat. Bruce is fat. Harvey is fat. He's fat or he's ugly. One of the two. Who else is fat? What's a fat boy's name? Bruce is fat. Except for, obviously, Bruce Jenner, who's now Caleb. We won't even talk about her. I'm so glad her star has fallen. She's done. You guys do realize she's done, right? She's done. She has pissed off Ellen. You can't piss off Ellen. Like, okay, first in command is Oprah. Don't piss her off. Don't piss her off. Toni Braxton will vouch for it. Toni Braxton's career has tanked. She had that bout with Oprah back in the early 2000s. She ain't bounced back since. She's done. The meat what do you call it? The meat producers or whatever, people who do meat, beef and shit, people started eating turkey. You don't piss off Oprah. That's just the one. You just don't do it. And you don't piss off Ellen. Caitlyn done went on Ellen's show and pissed her off. Who does that? Caitlyn, oh my God, she's so dumb. Like, she's just dumb. Like, I've said this before, and it just, people won't listen because everybody wants to be on the bandwagon. Nobody wants to be in a smart car, in a single one-seater car by themselves on a lonely road. They don't want that. Everybody wants to be in the super stretched limo or the party bus. Not I, because I will stand alone and be hateful and be the only hateful bitch in the room. Be like, can't stand her, can't stand him, can't do it, won't do it. And from jump, I'm like, can't get on this, can't do this. All this reality TV, all these reality TV stars, like, I can't wait till it's finally okay to just be a normal human being. A person who just goes to work and comes home. Like, everyone wants to have, 36 inches of hair, the best makeup, the best, everything. Everything has to be, the smart watch, the smart glasses, and everything is just, I can't. It's all from TV. It's all TV. It's all make-believe. And it's all this whole, okay, I do this because I saw it, blah, 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 fill in the blanks. It's like it's never according to just your dumbass, boring self. Like, everybody's gluten-free. Give me the fuck some gluten. Okay? Straight up. I want gluten. So all of the people who are passing on gluten right now, pass it to me. Give it to me. I'll take your gluten. I'll take your gluten. I'll take your cheese. I'll take your dairy. I'll take it all. So give it right on over here. I don't want your gluten-free cake. I don't want your flourless cake. That shit is horrible. But it's all to be like the best body. Like, I've talked about this before. How a lot of gay men don't feel adequate in their bodies because they think that the perfect body to have sex with is a six-pack. Like 6-pack abs and completely lean and ripped. Like, if you don't have that, then you're not desirable. That is just so blatantly ridiculous. It's not even funny. It's ridiculous, guys. Like, if you really honestly believe, and the thing is though, you're subjected to it because of the fact you immerse yourself in these environments. And when I say these environments, I mean like on apps. And you put yourself out there, like, because we're putting ourselves in real life porn every day. It's like we want to post pictures of ourselves, and porn doesn't necessarily have to be sexual, but it can be sensual as well. We put ourselves in our own self-made pornographic worlds to be judged, and then when we don't feel adequate enough, we feel insulted and less than, but we put ourselves up there to be judged, to be mocked, to be, ridiculed, and then we feel like we need to, remove ourselves in a hurt and wounded state because we feel like, well, we don't fit in this mode of perfection that, the new society has set up for us, which is, and I'm not saying that being lean is unhealthy. I'm not saying, because it is. It's very healthy because you're eating no sugar, you're eating no carbs, you're eating no gluten, you're eating none of that shit. So it's very healthy for you, but it's not realistic. And then you put yourself up in these, on this platform of, where you're feeling like you need to be perfect. And then when you fail, then you feel like your world has crumbled and that you're not you're worthless. It's so ridiculous. All of it's ridiculous. And it's all part of the whole new reality. Because now everybody feels like they have to be famous and seen and the most likes, the most viewed. And it's like, I gotta tell you, I'm very satisfied with who I am and what I do as an artist. Like, I didn't used to be, because I did want that. I don't